Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. This is my third time recording this video, so let's hope third time's the charm, because the last times I've been talking to myself and it's been recording a different screen which has had absolutely nothing on it, so I haven't been showing you anything. So third time's the charm with this. I'm going to be rebuilding Leicester City. Now this is a rebuild I've wanted to do for a while, but the timing just so happens that obviously as of yesterday when I'm recording this, Brendan Rodgers has been sacked. So, I figured now is time, I'll get on with it. I have got another rebuild schedule, so I don't know when this will come out, but it's still a really good rebuild to do. Obviously, a few years ago, won the league, they won the FA Cup, they were challenging for top four, and now they're in 19th, so there's quite a dramatic drop-off there. So I think this is a really good rebuild to do. One thing I want to set a disclaimer with, which is actually here, the wage budget. So, what seems to have happened there, I had wage budget to spare. I then went to sign a player for 98k. So I figured I would balance that out so it'd go down. So I sold a player who was on 75k. I then released a player who was on 30k. I think either I've misread it or the figure wasn't correct here, because we're now still 70k in debt. So I don't know how that mathematically has happened, but that was not part of the plan. I'm hoping later in the season they'll either let me increase the wage budget, or they'll basically I'll have to make a sale, but we'll see that later on in the season. But let's get into our transfers. So on the outs, I was looking at stuff. Let's go to transfers first. So on the outs, we went Lewis Brunt out on loan. Oh, what has happened there? Lewis Brunt has gone out on loan. We also got Shane Flynn out on loan, Joe Warmilton, Chiritsu Odunzi, Terrell Pennant, Shea Braybrook, and Lishabella. They're all gone out on loan. There's a couple of cash transfers we had. So Tawando Mashwanhais, 725k potentially rising. He's gone out to Burnley. Not great potential. The reason I decided to cash in was just because I wanted the money, and also I wanted the money. I didn't think they'd go into anything, and I think for me, they came to me and said they were going to leave on a free transfer anyway, so I was like, right, fine, see ya. Another player who'd done exactly the same was Daniel Amati. He went for 13.25 to Ajax. Now his value has jumped up, which is a bit frustrating, but he was a leading Sky Bet Championship player. He came to me and said he was going to leave on a free and consider his options at the end of his contract. So I figured rather than lose him on that free transfer, I'll cash in now, get rid of him, and that's what I've done. The other player was Jannik Vestergaard for 5.5 million to West Ham. He was on 75k. Got rid of him to try and balance the books, and because I had a different replacement line already in. So he's went, but didn't work out that way. But either way, he wouldn't have played much. On the ins, we got Livakovic. So 8.5 million for him. He's now valued 23 to 29. Really good keeper. Really good, important player who can still improve. I think he will, because looking at this, there's a couple of concerns for which command of area, communication, and first touch. They absolutely can improve, and usually I've played quite a few seasons on this game. Usually they do improve when I see them in the future. So I'm hoping this will be another case where it does, but we'll have to wait and see how that goes. Also, we signed the most signed player on the January update, which is Alex Scott for 10 million, rising to 12.5. Value shot up again. But he's really good potential. He's 18. He's English. He's a good lead. He's a lead in Sky Bet Championship, potential Premier League standard. I think he'll be higher than that. I think he'll be a lead in, but he can play in a multitude of positions. He can play wing back, which I won't play him in, but the option's there. He can play DM. He can play centre mid. He can play cam. One of these two, depending on where Madison plays, will probably be where he goes. He can also play right wing, but really good young player. He can also help us with Europe. So because he's 18. He should be within the trained at club between the ages of 19 and 21 to get the homegrown trained at club status. So I'm hoping he'll help us in Europe down the line as well. Another player I'm hoping will do the same for 16 million was Yasser Asprilla from Watford. Again, value shot up. Really well rounded. He can play anywhere behind the striker, and he can also play the striker, but not as well. Good potential again. 5-star potential. Leading Sky Bet Championship. I think he's a really good young player to get in. Again, he's 18, so he should help us in Europe in the future as well. Our signing, we signed before we sold Vestergaard and was sort of my replacement, was Josip Satulo. He value again shot up. Good, great tackling, great anticipation, great composure. He's still 22, and according to this, he can improve to a leading Premier League player. He's currently a decent, so I'm happy with him now, but he can still improve quite a lot. And even if he doesn't, to be honest, I think I'd be able to sell him for a profit, so I have no concerns over that. Agility is a slight concern, so I'm hoping I can work on that in training and get that up, but we'll have to see. And 6.3, so I'm hoping for corners, set pieces, he may be a really good player, good jump and reach as well. And then the final sign-in for 30.5, rising to 43.5, so a very, very expensive transfer, but I think he's worth it. Foot Manager players of 5 years ago will remember this man. He was one of the most signed players possible. It's Domenico Berardi, still at Sassuolo in real life. He's not in my game now because we have signed him. 50 million to 55 is his current value. He's an important player in his prime years. So he's 3.5 star. I think he suits the tactic really well. He's got good leadership, good determination, good off the ball, good vision, good penalty taking, good passing. Just a really good, well-rounded player. I think he's going to be a star man for us, or I hope he is. But that's it for the player transfers. Staff-wise, we have done quite a bit of rebuilding with our staff. So Brian Klug, great coach, he's come in. We've got Colbert come in as a fitness coach, great fitness coach there. Nuri, again, another fitness coach, fantastic. Those are sort of my go-tos. Scouting-wise, we've improved as well. We've got Eric Abayel, who a lot of people know. We got in Giles Grimaldo. Again, he's just really good area. So Ivory Coast, Senegal, I didn't think we didn't really have many players there, many scouts there. So I got him in. I'm hoping we'll be allowed more scouts in future as well. But this is how we currently line up staff-wise. We were one of the lowest in the league before, so I've managed to improve that. I do have still a recruitment analyst and a loan manager to come in, so these should improve as well. Why does it say that I have vacancy for a scout, but I have 12 or 12? That is odd. We'll see what happens there. But I've also got a head physio and head sports scientist, so these should still improve. But overall, I have improved them. Tactic-wise, as I said, this is the tactic we're going with. We're going with the GYR FM. This is what our assistant thinks is the best team. GYR FM, he tends to have, to me at least, for the last 2 editions of the game, had the best tactics. So I really like what he's got at the minute. GYR FM, it's the Swans Alone at version 2. I think this just suits the squad. So I want to give this a try and see how this does for us. We are expected to finish in 8th. So the season preview has us finish in 8th. This is what they expect our lineup to be. But I want to finish either 6th or 7th because I want Europe for next season. Financially, we're not in too bad a place. We've got 39 million. Debt-wise, transfer debt 17, 12.122 net debt. But I think over the course of 5 years, we can get that down. No problem at all. So I'm quite happy with that. But I'm hoping we'll get Europe next season, and that should start helping with this, start helping with the balance as well. Finally, let's just get into the pre-season, how we've done pre-season wise, and then I will simulate the first season. So we beat our second 11 3-0, Dakar with 2, Wout Faze with 1. Exeter we beat 5-0, Iheanacho, Madison, Dakar with 2 and Mendy with 1. Wolfsburg beat 7-1, Madison, Iheanacho, Vardy with a hat-trick, Dakar and Tete in the 91st minute. Against Molden, we won 3-1, Dakar with 2 and Prate with 1. 9-0 against Hampton and Richmond, Dakar with 4, Barnes with 1, Faust with 1, Scott with 2 and Madison with 1. Sheffield Wednesday, Vardy was the sole scorer in his testimonial. And then against Olympiacos, it was 3-0, Barnes, Dakar and Iheanacho with the goals there. So really good pre-season. We are undefeated. We've got Chelsea to start with, so I'm hoping that'll be a good... Hoping we'll manage to get a result there, but we've got a couple of tough fixtures to start. This run does not look good, so October looks really rough, but maybe we can pick up some wins beforehand. We'll have to see with that. But I will see you back now for the end of the first season, and we'll see how we get on with Leicester. Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome to the end of season number 1. Let's get into it and see how we've done. Okay. So we've got Europe for next season, Europa League. I said I wanted Europe. We got it. Fantastic. Obviously, finishing 6th. We were predicted 8th. I said I wanted 7th or 6th, obviously best stat. So perfect, we hit target. 1 point below Chelsea in 5th, so that's really good. Relegated Southampton, Nottingham Forest and Bournemouth. So some players there I'd potentially look to steal, but we'll have a look into that later. But yeah, really good season. Quarter-final of the FA Cup and semi-final of the Carabao Cup. So some really good results there. Let's have a look at our fixture list. So, as sorted by competition. Carabao Cup, we beat Leeds first round, 3-1. Beat Villa, then 3-1. Beat Fulham 1-0. Norwich 3-0. And then lost 4-1 on aggregate to Arsenal, 1-1 away, and 3-0 at home. That is shocking. Okay, what about the FA Cup? So, beat Salford, beat Barnsley, beat Tottenham, and then lost 3-1 to Arsenal. Arsenal seem a bit of a bogey team here for us. What's our biggest result? Big results, 5-2 twice against Fulham. Fulham must hate us. 5-1 against Liverpool. That's an incredible result. 4-2 against West Ham. 4-1 against Wolves. 3-1 away against Man City. Big result that. 3-0 against Tottenham. Beat Arsenal at home. Lost a heavy defeat 5-1 to Arsenal away. 3-1 Liverpool. 3-1 Man City. 2-1 Chelsea. 3-0 Man United. So some good results there. Let's have a look at our players. So, okay, 3 players average rating. So Iheanacho, Maddison, and Sancho, the only ones above 7. Livramento as well. How is he coming along? So he's improved a bit on command of area, but these still need a bit of improvement. But 12 clean sheets, I will take it. That's not too bad. Goal-wise, Iheanacho top with 18. Maddison with 11. Oop. Okay, fair enough. Daka with 11 and Berardi with 11. Okay. Assist-wise, top was Berardi, second was Maddison, third was Iheanacho. So not like a really good goal-scoring record. Where's Daka? Daka got 11. Berardi barely played. He got 6, so he's probably going to be leaving soon. Let's see if I can get him a new deal on less wages, because I think 160 grand for him's a bit of a joke. Like Johnny Evans, for example. He's a player, still a good Premier League player. He's currently on 100k. I've agreed a new deal with him for 33k. So that will be good. Oh, there we go. It's already gone down. But he's got a new deal. He's going to be a backup. He's still a good Premier League player, consistent. So I figured, why not? But yeah, really good first season. I'm really happy with that. Youth intake-wise, guys, we didn't really have a good youth intake. Mohamed was the only real alright player. Rest of it wasn't really that great. But that's all we've really got. A bit of a disappointing youth intake. But I will see you back for the start of season number 2. And welcome to the start of season number 2. We got quite a lot of transfers to catch up with. Then I will catch up on our pre-season. And then we'll go to the end of season number 2. So starting off with transfers. There is one transfer still going on, which is Harry Souttar. The reason being, I'm trying my best to sell him. But I've been trying for like a month. And he just keeps either rejecting it or it gets delayed and more people bidding and coming with loans, and it's been delayed so much. So I don't want to wait because we've got obviously the first game coming up and I don't think it's going to be done by then. But we'll go into some transfers. So on the outs, Hamza Chowdhury went for 13.75 to West Ham. He went. We also, this is going to be a pain, got rid of Mark Albrighton to West Brom. We got rid of Dennis Pratt to Burnley. Albrighton for 6.75 and Pratt for 15 million. We then sold Daniel Iverson for 2.9, rising to 3.4. So he's gone. On the outs this season, so Perez went on a free, Mendy went on a free as well. Both didn't really feature. Getting on, just let them go out. Transfer-wise, no one was really sold. There is a loan which I will get into later. But let's have a look at our written. So the first one is Tino Livramento. He's for 20.5. Already jumped up skyrocket-wise. My concern is, I bought him basically because I know he's got potential he could be resold on. But we've got James Justin, Timothy Costagna, and Pereira there. I've tried to loan 2 of them out or sell them, but no one seems to want to bid. We then got James Ward-Prowse for 15 million, rising to 24.5. I mean, you can't not. Like, he's a star player. Like, look at those stats. Look at the corners. Look at the crossing. Look at the free kick taking. Vision, work rate, stamina. He's incredible. And then striker-wise, so we struggled for goals last season, so I signed this guy, Rasmus Højlund. Everyone knows who he is. He's dubbed the next Haaland. Can improve significantly. Decent Premier League player. He's tall. He's quick. He's just an all-round great player, so I'm happy to get him in for 12.5. This season, then, we've signed 2 players on a free. Eduardo Mustra, who is a young player. He actually needs to go out on loan, so let me just do that again. But we signed Ayap Adin from FC Bayern. He has gone out on loan to Berlin. Marcus Edwards for 25, rising to 30. So he's come in to play on that right-hand side because we only really had Berardi there. There was another player I did try and sign, but he rejected us for Tottenham despite the fact we offered 50 grand more because he thought it'd be better financially, which was this guy, Zanolo. 23 million. Look at that value. Incredible. We offered 170 actually, so quite a lot more, but look at the value. I'm really gutted we didn't get him. But going back to our, so Marcus Edwards came in, Gundogan came in on a free transfer, good value for 2 years, leading Premier League player. I saw he was available, I couldn't not take it up. Lavia has come in, but because of our now depth in centre midfield, I have loaned him back out to Southampton. Good value, he's only 19, he can improve a lot. He is on loan in the Championship, but they'll probably come back up, so it should be fine. Longley has come in for 7.75 million, just as a left-sided centre-back, because I realised we didn't have a left-sided centre-back. So he has come in as a depth option there. So that is our transfer business. Looking at pre-season, it's been a bit of a mixed bag. So, drew 2-2 with Liverpool, Daka and Iheanacho with the goals. Lost 2-0 to Real Madrid, Vinicius Junior and Sancho for them. 3-6 to Sturm Graz, Berardi, Haaland and Tielemans. 3-3 to Vienna, Maddison and Daka. 3-1 to Salzburg, Faust, Evans and Ward-Prowse. 1-0 to Vienna, 6-1 to Horn, Gundogan with 2, Scott, Iheanacho and Didi Vardy. 2-3 to Barcelona, Scott and Daka. 2-2 with Leipzig, Iheanacho and Berardi with the goals. Olympique Lyon, we beat 4-0. We got Daka with 2, Maddison with 1 and Vardy with 1, and then we drew with Dortmund 1-1 with Daka with a solo goal. Now, I'm a bit torn now because Iheanacho actually wants to leave. He's unhappy, but he was our top scorer last season. Part of me kind of wants to force Haaland to play here, but we're going to have to see how that goes. Where else can our strikers actually play? So let's have a look. Iheanacho can play on the left. He can play any of those, so that'll be fine. Or Daka. Daka can play left as well. What I'm thinking is I'm going to force Haaland to play as much as possible. He's going to be the one player I'm going to force, but just to see if we can develop him, because if we can, he's going to be the quality player for us, so I think that's what I'm going to do. I will simulate now until the end of the second season, and we'll see how we get on. Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we are finishing off season number 2 of our Leicester save. I don't know why I said today. It's because it's a completely new day from recording part number 1 of season number 2. But we are back for the end of the season. So, let's get into it and see how we've done. Right, okay. Extremely disappointing is the answer. So, expectation was top half. We finished 11th, so not top half. Knockout playoff round of the Europa League. We got 80% now because we got into semi-final, which is good. Quarter-final of the FA Cup was expectation. We got to the 5th round and knocked out. Quarter-final of the Carabao Cup, got to the 4th round and knocked out. So really disappointing season. Boards a C because they're happy with the Europa League, but failed the other 3 objectives, which isn't great. Look at our schedule. Let's have a look at our schedule by competition. So, Premier League is a bit patchy. Didn't really have a great month at all anywhere. So, really disappointing there. Let's have a look at the FA Cup and see. FA Cup, so we beat Everton, beat Colchester, lost to Man City. How was our Carabao Cup run? Beat Man United, no, lost. Beat Newcastle 4-1, lost to Man United, and then our Europa League run. So, group, we beat Dinamo 4-1, lost 4-2, drew with Apoli, beat Braga twice, beat Apoli 6-3 then at home, beat Dortmund on aggregate 6-3, which is really good, so 2-1 away, 4-2 at home, beat Lazio over 2 legs, 2-2 at away and 1-0 at home, and then lost 3-0 on aggregate to Chelsea. 3-0 loss at home as well, a draw at Stamford Bridge, so that's really disappointing. Was there any good results in the league? So looking at, let's have a look, did we have any? A 5-0 against Brentford, which is really good, 4-0 against Burnley, 4-1 against Man City. So some good results there, but still like a disappointing season overall. Done a double over Tottenham, which as a Tottenham fan is a shame, but no Europe for next season. Let's have a look at our player stats, player performances. So, selection info. Top goal scorer was Højlund with 23. Hasn't developed as much as I would like, so it's a bit disappointing there. Scott with 11, Edwards with 10, and Madison with 10. Assist-wise, it is Ward-Prowse and then Marcus Edwards. So not really a great year. I think we may have to do some movements in the summer to see how we can do. Hoping that is not our budget, but we'll have to wait and see and do some wheeling and dealing. But that is it for season number 2. Let me know your thoughts. I'm quite disappointed with that myself. But let me know your thoughts below. Hopefully for season number 3 we can make a run in with no Europe. Potentially get top 4. That may have to be my aim if we got no Europe. But I'll see you back for season number 3. Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. Today we are finishing off season number 2 of our Leicester save. I don't know why I said today. It's because it's a completely new day from recording part number 1 of season number 2. But we are back for the end of the season. So let's get into it and see how we've done. Right, okay. Extremely disappointing is the answer. So expectation was top half. We finished 11th, so not top half. Knockout playoff round of the Europa League. We got 80% there because we got into semi-final, which is good. Quarter-final of the FA Cup was expectation. We got to the 5th round and knocked out. Quarter-final of the Carabao Cup, got to the 4th round and knocked out. So really disappointing season. Boards a C because they're happy with the Europa League, but failed the other 3 objectives, which isn't great. Look at our schedule. Let's have a look at our schedule by competition. So, Premier League is a bit patchy. Didn't really have a great month at all anywhere. So, really disappointing there. Let's have a look at the FA Cup and see. FA Cup, so we beat Everton, beat Colchester, lost to Man City. How was our Carabao Cup run? Beat Man United, no, lost. Beat Newcastle 4-1, lost to Man United, and then our Europa League run. So, group, we beat Dinamo 4-1, lost 4-2, drew with Apoli, beat Braga twice, beat Apoli 6-3 then at home, beat Dortmund on aggregate 6-3, which is really good, so 2-1 away, 4-2 at home, beat Lazio over 2 legs, 2-2 at away and 1-0 at home, and then lost 3-0 on aggregate to Chelsea. 3-0 loss at home as well, a draw at Stamford Bridge, so that's really disappointing. Was there any good results in the league? So looking at, let's have a look, did we have any? A 5-0 against Brentford, which is really good, 4-0 against Burnley, 4-1 against Man City. So some good results there, but still like a disappointing season overall. Done a double over Tottenham, which as a Tottenham fan is a shame, but no Europe for next season. Let's have a look at our player stats, player performances. So, Selection info. Top goal scorer was Hoyland with 23. Hasn't developed as much as I would like, so it's a bit disappointing there. Scott with 11, Edwards with 10, and Madison with 10. Assist-wise, it is Ward-Prowse and then Marcus Edwards. So not really a great year. I think we may have to do some movements in the summer to see how we can do. Hoping that is not our budget, but we'll have to wait and see and do some wheeling and dealing. But that is it for season number 2. Let me know your thoughts. I'm quite disappointed with that myself. But let me know your thoughts below. Hopefully for season number 3 we can make a run in with no Europe. Potentially get top 4. That may have to be my aim if we got no Europe. But I'll see you back for season number 3. Hello guys and welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the Leicester City rebuild to the beginning of season number 3. As you can see here, we've got 83 million left to spend and 475 in wages, but our finances aren't good enough for me to realistically do that. I did make quite a few sales to try and balance the FFP, but I think I need to make a couple of sales just to balance it back out, so we're going to have to see with that one. He's not going to be one to leave, but I have made quite a few sales. I brought a few people in. He's coming on loan just to help with the FFP. In January, we'll potentially need to look into selling another person. But let's have a look at our transfers. So we'll start off the end of last season. So we bought in a couple of players. We bought in Anton Starch for 19 million. Really good defensive midfielder. Look, his attributes really well rounded. Only 25. Good Premier League player. He's a really good, well-rounded player, and I think he could do really well in the new system we're going to do. Edson Alvarez, 47 million from Ajax. Quality play. You can play either of these two positions, so I'm really happy with him. Again, mentals are incredible, so really good player there. Also signed Leandro Trossard on loan from Arsenal. Just a well-rounded player. He's just going to be a backup, to be honest, but I figured we kind of needed it. On the outs, we sold Ndidi for 26 million. We sold Iheanacho for 24 million. Woutfors for 11. 10 million for Castagni. 5.75 for Samore. And on the ins, then there was... on the outs as well, we also sold Kieran Dewsbury Hall and Ricardo Pereira to Harry Suter. On the ins, then there was a couple more, which is Gijo Marucci as our backup keeper, 7.5 rising to 10 million. Ivan Toney on a loan fee of 5.5 million. He's joining permanently. He's 28, really good stats, a really good player on this game. And then the final was Pavlovic, who's a centre-back from Salzburg, already valued at 17 to 20. Good potential. He's tall, he's strong, he's just a really good, well-rounded player. So I'm really happy with our business. Potentially be one more out, which I need to figure out. But really good business. I'm really happy with that. Pre-season wise, let's have a look. So pre-season, we've only played 3 games. We've won all of them. El Paso, Orange County, and Portland. Scott with 2, Scott with 1, Nadaka with 2, and then Statch with 2, and Asprilla with 1. So really good pre-season. Our first we got West Ham. Let's get into the season and see how we do. Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. Welcome to the end of season number 3. Now I realise I didn't actually show you what tactic I've changed to, so here it is. This is the tactic I have changed to. It is a free centre midfielder tactic. I think it gave us more stability. Our best 11, as you can see, is this. But I just want to go quickly to competitions because I can see there's already a spoiler at the top. But we managed to finish in 6th, and we also won the FA Cup. So we're back in Europe. We got a trophy on our hands. Really good. Alex got the leading goal scorer there. Daka leading in the league. So really good season overall. Let's have a look at our results. So we started really well to 6-1 to West Ham. Daka with a hat-trick, so really good for him. Then lost 4-1 to Liverpool. Went on a bit of a somber until about December. Almost undefeated in December, but Norwich beat us. And then a good end of season run. Nearly undefeated in April as well. So some really good results there. Let's have a look. What's our biggest results? So 7-1 against Sunderland. 7-0 against Birmingham. 6-1 against West Ham. 4-2 against West Ham. 4-2 against Man City. 4-1 against Man City. Our biggest loss is a 4-1 to Liverpool. But some really good results there. Let's have a look at our FA Cup run. So FA Cup wise, we beat Forest Green, Sunderland, Birmingham, West Ham, Arsenal, and then Man City. Okay, so really difficult run to the final. Carabao Cup, lost to Burnley 1-2. That's fine. No European competition. So yeah, really good season for us. We're back in Europe, but the problem we've got now, financially we're fucked. 125 million, minus 125 million. A lot of debt, not a lot of transfer debt, but a lot of overall debt. So I think this summer we're not going to spend. We just can't, unless we only basically do player sales, because that is just too concerning for me. But that's how we done this season. I'm hoping next season now, finish sixth, we can push on and get back into the top four, get into the top four even. We were 5 points off this season, but a really good overall season. I'm happy with that. Daka was our main goal scorer. He's doing okay. 22. We'll have to see if we can improve on that, but a really good season. Let's look at our individual players. So selection ability, Alex Scott's doing really well. Still got potential apparently as well. Let's look at selection info. So Alex Scott second, Daka top with 22, Barnes with 7, Alvarez with 4, Brady with 4. Assist-wise, Ward-Prowse top, Barnes second with Madison tied, Alex Scott and Marcus Edwards. Madison, I did also get to sign a new deal, so that's really good for us. But a really good third season. But let's go into the fourth and final season and see how we do. Hello guys, and welcome to season number 4 of my Leicester City rebuild, the penultimate season. I'm starting off here because there's a couple of things I want to go through with you. Transfers is not really one of them because we've been a bit limited there, for a reason I will show you in a second. But pretty good pre-season. Only the one loss against Real Madrid where we did fight pretty well, 3-2, with Satula and Lavia with the goals, Barcelona 2-2, Tielemans and Koundé with no goal, and then 1-1 Harvey Barnes against Liverpool. We then beat BJ Univ, Madison, Tony, Undergun, Donnelly, Justin, 6-0 against DL Pro, Pat Sandaka, Satulo, Asprilla, Sammy, Braybrook and Rasmus Hoyland, 3-0 against SH Port, Tielemans, Madison and Hoyland, 5-0 against a Shenhua, Alex Scott, Tony with 3 and Berardi, 3-1 against Nice, Pat Sandaka with 2 and Lavia with 1, 3-0 against Monaco, Tony, Gravenberch and Donnelly, 5-1 against Salzburg, Edwards, Berardi, Ward-Prowse and Donnelly, 4-3 against Galatasaray, Lavia, Satula and Daka, and 3-1 against Vigo, Celta Vigo, Edwards, Barnes and Tony. Now, the reason we haven't been able to make many signings is this. We're in a very, very bad place. I'm hoping some Europa League money will help get that back up, but we're really not doing well financially. Debt-wise, got a large debt. I think I kind of underestimated in taking this on how much financially trouble they're in. I didn't really look into it too much, and it's kind of costing us, so I haven't really spent. I brought in 2 loans and a try-in which was already going to be there, which is Ivan Toney. Brought in Donnelly on loan for 1.3 loan fee, really good player, decent prem, could improve a lot. Gravenberch 1.3, again just a loan player, could be a leading Premier League player. Transfers out-wise, we got a couple of players out, so we got Sion2 out for 26.5, again just needed money. We also then sold Weiner, Maldives, we sold Udinese and Rasmus Hoyland for 21. I have been trying to sell this guy for 26, but so far I've not had any luck, unfortunately, so we'll keep you updated with that. But financially we're in a big trouble, so we'll have to see how that progresses. I may need to look to do some January wheeling and dealing depending on how we are then. But we'll get into the season, penultimate season, and see how we do. Thank you, I'll see you at the end of the season. Hello guys, and welcome back to the end of the season. We have got I'd say fairly successful season to show you. Let's get into it. So here we go. We finished runner-up in the Community Shield, winner of the Carabao Cup, so we got a trophy, 5th round of English, runner-up of the Europa League, and finished 7th. I would have liked to finish higher in the league, I will be honest. The fact it's like that is kind of annoying to me. Actually, let's have a look. So Europa League, finals done. Champions League still got the final there. So we could get even into Europa League. We'll have to wait and see. But this is how it's lining up so far. We're in 7th. 2 points behind 5th, which is a bit disappointing. But overall, a very good season. Let's have a look at our players and how they've done. So selection info. Ah, that's a shame. Selection info. We had top goal scorer was Tony. Then it was Daka. Then it was Satula, our centre back, with 15 goals. That's incredible. Madison with 9. Assist wise, it was Ward Prowse. Edwards with 20 assists, which is great. Alex Scott with 10. And Madison with 10. So really good season all around. Average rating wise, Tony was the top, Daka second. So really good season there. Schedule wise, what was our biggest results? 6-1 against Liverpool at Anfield. Wow, incredible. 5-0 against Brentford. 4-4 Liverpool. 4-2 against Watford. 4-1 against Everton. 4-1 against Man United in the Carabao Cup final. So we beat them 4-1. Let's have a look at a couple of our runs actually. So who have we beat in the FA Cup? So FA Cup, we beat Man United, beat Lincoln and lost 2-1 to West Brom. Carabao Cup, we beat Wycombe, Liverpool, Tottenham, Brentford 6-1 on aggregate and then 4-1 against Man United. It's a really good run there. In the Europa League, we only really lost to Frankfurt in the group stage. We then beat Nims, Olympic Lyon, Marseille, Frankfurt, and then lost to Wolfsburg. Community Shield, we lost to Liverpool, obviously. So a really good run, but financially we're still in a really bad place. 161 million. That's gone up slightly. I'm hoping by the time next season comes, we'll have a bit more. I'm probably going to be a bit more reserved or wait before spending any, because I want to see if we can get that down a bit. And I'm quite happy with our squad, so we'll have to see how we do next season. But I shall leave it there. I'll see you at the beginning of season number 5. Hello guys, and welcome to the start of season number 5. Now, I just want to clarify something, which is there hasn't been a lot of regens really in this series. To be honest with you, our youth intakes have all been really poor. Like, looking at our under 20s, it's bare bones, same as our under 18s, because there's not really a lot here. There's nothing really that good. Actually, where is it? Squad. Yeah, it's quite bare bones amongst these two, which is quite unfortunate, but it hasn't really worked out as well as I'd like. And financially, because of the position we're in, I haven't been able to upgrade the facilities to get better youth intake, so that's been a bit of a problem. But we'll get into the transfers, and then we'll get into pre-season, and because we're on the 31st of August, a few games we've done. So transfer-wise, we lost 2 players, unfortunately. Asprilla on a free. He's gone to Berlin. He was only a championship level player when we got rid of him. He didn't really develop as much as I'd like. Berardi gone on a free, didn't sign a new deal, refused to. He's 32 now, so it wasn't much of a loss and was on big wages. Marsadi Ali, just a young player, doesn't really matter. Clement Longley is gone for 18.25 to 24, rising to 24 million because he's 31 now. I think it was time to cash in when we got that offer. I wasn't planning on selling, but for that money, why not? He's never really been standout for us, and we've made a profit, so I'm happy with that. Got one other player leaving, which is Sammy Brooks Brayside. He's in our under 21s for 18 million, I believe. No, 22 million to LAFC. Just wanted to balance the books there, and he's going there in the summer, in January, because of our transfers. I wanted to make sure we somewhat evened it out. With the transfer of Bray, I think we'd have made a profit this window, which is good. But we signed Levy Colwell on a loan from Chelsea. Really good young centre-back. Good, decent Premier League, potential to be good. Just a depth option there. again, another depth option. He can play a number of positions, which is kind of why I wanted him. But Rique Lewis, again, decent Premier League player, can improve slightly. Mariba, another loan, again, a depth option, leading Championship, but I think his attributes pretty good. He's pretty well rounded, so I'm happy with him. Then saw Ericsson was listed for 3.8. Now this, it's only a 1 year deal. His stats are still really good apart from his physicals, but he's still a good Premier League player. We're only doing this for one more season, so I figured why not. Ivan Valero for 6 million. He's coming 46 to 54. He's a really good player. He's quick, good finishing, good dribbling, decent off the ball, good composure. So he's a really good player. He's good Premier League, can improve a lot. So really happy with him. Signed Vallejo for 9.25. He is a winger, good crossing, good acceleration, leading the championship, but plenty of room to improve. So he's a really good signing for us. And then Pedro Figueroa, 7.5 million. Good championship potential, good Premier League player. He is a backup centre back, tackling. He's quick. He's got good acceleration, good teamwork. So just a backup centre back option. He's got good value as well. So that is our business. We played a couple of games pre-season. We were undefeated. Only played 3 games, no goals conceded. We then drew 2-2 with Leeds at the start of the season. Barnes and Daka with our goals. 1-0 against Villa. Satula with the only goal, and then 4-1 against Middlesbrough. Barnes with 3, Ward-Prowse with 1. We've lost 2-0 to Chelsea away, Kai Havertz and Zanolo, and then 2-1 at home to Man City, Ward-Prowse pen with our only goals. I can't be too mad at that, to be honest. Harry Kane's a City. How much did they buy him for? 103 million. Nice. Still really elite player. Look at that. So still a really good player. But I think that's a pretty good start. Obviously, these are 2 games you'd expect to lose. Unfortunately, because we played a limited amount of games, we are in 11th. But I'm pretty confident that will go up. But either way, let's simulate the 5th and final season. See how balance is looking at the end, and see how we do. Hello guys, and welcome to the start of season number 5. Now, I just want to clarify something, which is there hasn't been a lot of regens really in this series. To be honest with you, our youth intakes have all been really poor. Like, looking at our under 20s, it's bare bones, same as our under 18s, because there's not really a lot here. There's nothing really that good. Actually, where is it? Squad. Yeah, it's quite bare bones amongst these two, which is quite unfortunate, but it hasn't really worked out as well as I'd like. And financially, because of the position we're in, I haven't been able to upgrade the facilities to get better youth intake, so that's been a bit of a problem. But we'll get into the transfers, and then we'll get into pre-season, and because we're on the 31st of August, a few games we've done. So transfer-wise, we lost 2 players, unfortunately. Asprilla on a free. He's gone to Berlin. He was only a championship level player when we got rid of him. He didn't really develop as much as I'd like. Berardi gone on a free, didn't sign a new deal, refused to. He's 32 now, so it wasn't much of a loss and was on big wages. Marsradi Ali, just a young player, doesn't really matter. Clement Longley is gone for 18.25 to 24, rising to 24 million, because he's 31 now. I think it was time to cash in when we got that offer. I wasn't planning on selling, but for that money, why not? He's never really been stand out for us, and we've made a profit, so I'm happy with that. Got one other player leaving, which is Sammy Brooks Brayside. He's in our under 21s for 18 million, I believe. No, 22 million to LAFC. Just wanted to balance the books there, and he's going there in the summer, in January, because of our transfers. I wanted to make sure we somewhat evened it out. With the transfer of Bray, I think we'd have made a profit this window, which is good. But we signed Levy Colwell on a loan from Chelsea. Really good young centre-back. Good, decent Premier League, potential to be good. Just a depth option there. Again, another depth option. He can play a number of positions, which is kind of why I wanted him. But Rique Lewis, again, decent Premier League player, can improve slightly. Mariba, another loan. Again, a depth option, leading Championship. But I think his attributes pretty good. He's pretty well rounded, so I'm happy with him. Then saw Ericsson was listed for 3.8. Now this, it's only a 1 year deal. His stats are still really good apart from his physicals. But he's still a good Premier League player. We're only doing this for one more season, so I figured why not. Ivan Valero for 6 million. He's coming 46 to 54. He's a really good player. He's quick, good finishing, good dribbling, decent off the ball, good composure. So he's a really good player. He's good Premier League, can improve a lot. So really happy with him. Signed Vallejo for 9.25. He is a winger, good crossing, good acceleration, leading the championship, but plenty of room to improve. So he's a really good signing for us. And then Pedro Figueroa, 7.5 million. Good championship potential, good Premier League player. He is a backup centre back, tackling. He's quick. He's got good acceleration, good teamwork. So just a backup centre back option. He's got good value as well. So that is our business. We've played a couple of games. Pre-season we were undefeated, only played 3 games, no goals conceded. We then drew 2-2 with Leeds at the start of the season. Barnes and Daka with our goals. 1-0 against Villa. Satula with the only goal, and then 4-1 against Middlesbrough. Barnes with 3, Ward-Prowse with 1. We've lost 2-0 to Chelsea away, Kai Havertz and Zanolo, and then 2-1 at home to Man City, Ward-Prowse pen with our only goals. I can't be too mad at that, to be honest. Harry Kane's a City. How much did they buy him for? 103 million. Nice. Still really elite player. Look at that. So still a really good player. But I think that's a pretty good start. Obviously, these are 2 games you'd expect to lose. Unfortunately, because we played a limited amount of games, we are in 11th. But I'm pretty confident that will go up. But either way, let's simulate the 5th and final season. See how balance is looking at the end, and see how we do. Hello and welcome to the end of season number 5 of my Leicester City rebuild. Now, before I get into the sort of schedule of how we've done, I want to show you our youth academy, because there hasn't been a lot of focus on this, and to be quite frank, the reason being we just haven't had anyone good. Like Duran McGregor, Ian Riley, Mohammed, who's leaving, under 18s, had Ashton Betham. There's been no one really good who's come through, so I haven't really been able to have much of a focus on it, unfortunately. That mixed in with the finances make it a very difficult time. I'm glad this is the last season, because that would not be sustainable going forward. I think the next rebuild I'm going to have to do, I may need to look into selling to buy, but we'll see how that goes. But let's go into the competitions. So, I'm torn, because if you'd told us we got to a European semi-final, quarter-final Carabao Cup, that's great, but then we missed out on Europe by 2 points. Europe's just needed for these finances, so it's quite disappointing in that sense. 2 really good results in the Europa League and Carabao Cup, but it means nothing if we're not even going to be in Europe next season. So it's quite disappointing. Let's have a look how our runs were in the competition. So in the that's the Premier League. FA Cup, we lost straight away to Reading, which is awful. Beat Southampton, beat Chelsea 5-0. How are Chelsea doing in the league? They're second, so beat them 5-0. Ward-Prowse, Tielemans, Madison, even Valora. So yeah, really good result there. And then lost to Arsenal 1-0. Europa League, who have we beat? So Ghent, Rennes, Olympique Marseille, Copenhagen, Sporting, Sevilla, and then lost on penalties to Olympique Marseille. That's heartbreaking. So it's quite disappointing there. Obviously, some good values in here, but financially we're not in a good place. So I think it's going to be a bit of a struggle. How bad are we in FFP? Current projection, so only like 10 million off, but still a really bad place to be. So, how do you think I did? I managed to get them back in Europe. They haven't got relegated, which is good. They're still in the Prem. I think they've got a good squad to move forward, but financially there's a lot of moves needed. Maybe even if it's just they've got quite a young squad, or let's have a look at ages-wise. Okay, these 3 would probably move on. Rather than that, quite a lot of young players in here who could realistically stay for a couple of seasons. Let's have a look at our best 11. Get a new keep. If we do this, it's a pretty young squad, don't really need the older players, and that's sustainable enough to spend the next 5 years without any transfers, in my opinion. So I don't think that's too bad. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. What I may actually do, see how we do, I might simulate a couple of seasons without any transfers, just simulate a couple of seasons. and see how this squad does. It's a good squad I put together, I think, but obviously financially we're not in a good place, so maybe we'll see how that does. But this has been the rebuild, and I hope you guys have enjoyed. Thank you. Goodbye.